Hey everyone. In this video, I want to talk to you about the importance of showing people who you are rather than telling them. Now, this is a great concept because most people actually take the latter approach where they would prefer telling people who they are rather than showing them. And there is merit in that, but oftentimes it's more powerful to show people who you are rather than telling them because it can basically be broken down like this. When you're constantly feeling the need to tell people rather than show them who you are, it kind of can come off a bit needy, like you want their validation, their acceptance, you're trying to impress them, so you're telling them about how great you are rather than showing them via your actions. Whenever we show people things, we basically are allowing them to come to their own conclusions, and that way, when they do decide that they like us, they'll often like us more than if we just told them all these reasons about why they should like us, because that's almost like convincing them in a way. This is an interesting concept because it plays out, as you would think, in first dates quite well, where a lot of people on first dates feel the need to tell the other person about who they are rather than showing them. And I understand that some of you are probably going to be thinking, well, if I don't tell them, how are they going to figure out who I am? And you can tell them bits and pieces about who you are when they ask you. But what I mean here is, for the most part, sticking to showing them via your character and relying on them to ask you those questions rather than just telling them and just spewing all of this information about yourself when they didn't exactly ask for it. Because that can come off like you're trying to impress them, especially on first dates. If you find yourself only talking about yourself and the other person isn't actually asking you questions to figure out who you are, and it's just you telling them all this stuff about you, that can be really overwhelming. And it often will make the other person think maybe you're selfish, or not selfish, but self centered, where you're only ever focus on yourself, and that's why you're talking about yourself rather than trying to figure out who they are. But also, it can just be kind of needy, like that you're trying to buy the other person's acceptance of you. So when you switch to showing the other person who you are, this would mean basically you just take them somewhere and you basically show them about your character via the way you interact with them and the world. This could be when if you're at a restaurant and when the waiter comes over, you treat them with respect and you're kind to them and you're asking the waiter how their day is going, and you're basically treating them like a human being that you're interested in, that you are genuinely curious about how their life is going. That's going to show the other person that you're a caring person and that you're kind. And that's going to make you very attractive. This also means that when you're just out and about, maybe you crack jokes or you're focused on the beauty of the sunset or you're taking in your surroundings, you're basically showing that person who you are via your actions, showing them that you enjoy beauty and that you're able to be fully present in the moment rather than telling them those things. So a great example here would be, okay, say you're on that first date, you're looking at a sunset with the person you're on the date with next to you. Now, you can either enjoy that sunset and just take it all in and be overwhelmed by the beauty of it and kind of just maybe put your arm, well, I guess this is for guys, but put your arm around her and just help her envelop that beauty along with you. Or you can tell her and be like, that sunset is so beautiful, I just love taking it in. Well, which one is going to be more powerful? Obviously, it's going to be showing her, where you're just transfixed by the sunset rather than telling her, hey, this sunset is so beautiful that it has me transfixed. This is kind of what I mean, where showing people is almost always going to be more powerful than telling them. You're basically inviting them to get to know you by observing you, and also the last question. So, of course, answer those questions. But like I said earlier, that is separate to telling them who you are when you're not actually prompted, because you don't want to be that person on the first date who's only ever talking about themselves. That never goes over well. So don't be that person. But in life in general, showing is just way more powerful than telling. Even on the job, if you're somebody who is a hard worker, you're a team player, showing people via your actions will always be far better than telling people that you're a team player and that you like working hard. actions speak louder than words, and that is the whole point of this video. So I urge all of you to get into that habit of just starting to show people who you are rather than telling them. Just let your actions speak for themselves and let other people come to their own conclusions about you. Don't feel the need to buy anybody's acceptance or validation, and definitely don't feel the need to impress other people. Just be yourself and let your actions speak for you, and watch the way that it changes your social interactions with other people. Anyway, I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!